Today we got a brand new blog post and a couple other things on Numa Reborn, or whatever it's going to be called, and I want to get into absolutely all of it because there's a couple things we need to talk about, and the blog post is kind of long, has a lot of useless information, but we'll go over everything that is important regardless. Either way, let's not waste any time and actually not jump over here and first jump over to the patch notes. And what I want to point out here is that it says a story quest. The new story quest is available in Numa on June 22nd. So this is confirming things that I kind of already thought, that the map and the main Easter egg are coming together just like they used to. No Cold War stuff where the map comes out, then the Easter egg later. It's all coming together. And if this is enough for you, we have a Codename Pizza tweet that's pretty much just showing us a tweet from Treyarch CM saying that, yes, the map and the Easter egg are coming together. So if anyone was confused about that, you're no longer confused. Now let's jump over to this article or blog post. And the first thing I want to do is go over this little synopsis of the story. And what it says is, the swamp is where Duahide found the artifact of Syraxis, Professor Gabriel Kraft. The endgame draws near. There may be some way to stop Von List and his undead army. His bond with Cortifex, the Deathless, can be broken. According to new intelligence, a certain relic found deep in the Japanese swampland was used by Syraxis, the Shadow's enemies, to cast her out of her human host. If only her memories hadn't been stolen, she could tell exactly where the relic lies in the so-called Swamp of Death. But it's up to you and your allies to discover on familiar ground Numa, and use it to cast Cortifex the Deathless out of Von List. Your mission: build the wonder weapon, find the relic, expose the hidden horrors of Cortifex's past. So that's a pretty good summary, and maybe spoiling a couple of things of what we can expect to see through the story that's going to be told during the main Easter egg. And that's interesting. But one thing I'm curious is that it does say the endgame draws near, which is strange because I don't know if this is where the story is going to end. If it is, I doubt we're getting any connection to the Cold War story, and it just might not ever see the Forsaken or anything like that take over and maybe to kill all the Dark Ether entities we're currently working with. But potentially maybe that still happen after this. But the only other thing I can mention is that we are going to be learning about Cortifex's past, which may be some, tiebacks to the original Ether potentially, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And the final thing I really want to mention is this does make it sound like that boss fight that was teased at the end may be fighting against Cortifex if we are trying to, split the two apart, of course, between Von List and Cortifex, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So I need to cut in here because there's actually something pretty substantial that I missed here, and it's something that I kind of expected, but it's in this little summary that I skipped over where it says, deploy into the Swamp of the Death in Numa, the first classic round-based zombies experience in Vanguard. And they do say the first, kind of implying that there may be more, but we couldn't really do much with that. But then Mr. Dog JD went and tweeted this, of course, pointing this out, which is cool and all. But then down in the replies, we actually see Treyarch CM, who we already mentioned in this video, are going to, I don't know when I'm going to put this in, they're actually putting the little eyes emoji, again, hinting at that we are probably going to get another one. So with this, I think that there is a possibility that we are getting that other map, and we finally will get the connection to Cold War that I was worried that wouldn't actually be there. Regardless though, I'm going to shut up and let my past self continue the video. The next thing that you guys kind of already saw at the bottom of the screen is the new layout of the map, and as you guys can see, it's nearly identical to the original Numa. The only new thing is the dig site that you could only access through what it seems is the storage hut and the comms room. So there that is. Originally, I thought there was going to be a new path over here, down the Flogger path or the fishing hut path, but it seems like that's not going to be the case, and that's where the dig site's going to be. Now, what they do with this blog post is give us a lot of information that we kind of already know. They kind of tell us the layout of the map, and it's Numa. We've kind of all played it before, so we already know what's going to be going on here. Especially this is explaining the layout of the main hut, which again, I don't think we need to go over. So let's kind of go skip past that, and we're going to mainly not read all of this, but I'll talk about them and like important things they mention here. First, with the doctor's quarter, it's like one thing they literally say is that it may just hold the key to unlocking Syraxis's memories, which is probably telling us, this is where the Easter egg's going to start, right? So, there's a little spoiler, I guess, but that's where it's going to be. And I think that when we start doing our Easter egg hunts, this is the first place we should check. If not, another area that we'll get into in a second. But regardless, though, they do mention other things about, things we already know about the map, except they are adding more box locations. The next place is the fishing hut, and what's special about the fishing hut is that this is where they're going to be adding the Tome of Rituals, the place where you activate or upgrade your field upgrades, or whatever you want to call them, of course, exchanging them for sacrificial hearts. The next area is the comms room, and the special thing about this is that this is where the Altar of the Covenants is going to be located, and again, you can swap your sacrificial hearts to get the abilities that you want. Next one is the storage hut, and the storage hut is where we're going to be building the Wonderwaff DG2, because it literally says inside is a perk fountain, a mystery box location, a very interesting weapon lying on the bench beneath the blueprint titled Wonderwaff DG2. If only there was a way to get it functioning again. So there's that. Now, another thing I should mention that they actually mentioned in the first one that I completely forgot is that, yes, randomized perks locations are going to be returning. When you open the door, it's going to give you a random perk, and it's going to be great, just like the original Shoot Numa. But now we get into the dig site, an actual new area, and this is a little bit more interesting. But what it says is the dig site is where it is initially, or the initial objective points towards accessing the comms. Or wait, what the hell did it just say? Well, either way, the only way you get this is by going through the comms room and storage hut pathways. It's a large area, and it's just saying it's a large area. Okay, the pack bunch machine and the crafting table are going to be here. Like we could see in this, like we could literally see in this image, there's a crafting table and there's a pack bunch machine. Nice little area, I guess. Either way, it's just saying it's a big area for the zombies to attack you, and that's kind of all they really mention about it. One thing I do notice, another that we also saw in the trailer yesterday, there's something right in the middle that the characters in the trailer were protecting, so I imagine that's going to have something to do with the Easter egg. And now from here on out, they really don't give us that much new information. It's like general strategies. Just telling us how different things work. You use salvage, the Altar of the Covenants, to rituals that we all really know how it's going to work. The only new information they tell us is how the systems that were originally made for objective play are going to work in here. One thing they say is how often you're going to get a heart, but they already told us that a couple days ago. And they also tell us how often it's going to change between the different things that you get in the Altar of the Covenants, how often they're going to change. You could also exfil, that is returning, so that's cool. You exfil at the main hut dormitory, or however you talk in English. So there is that. I like that that feature is returning. The enemies we are going to be fighting are Boom Schreiers, and that stupid, what is it called? It was in this other one. Where is it? This is Isabella the Deceiver. I don't know why she's back. She absolutely sucks, but she's going to be here for who knows what reason. Regardless, though, this article ends off with just 10 hints that just tells you things that you probably already know about zombies. It's just telling us how to traverse the map, writing on the walls, telling us where to go, two-way tool. Like, these are things we kind of already know. How they work. We know how wall buys work. We know how traps work. We kind of know how the Altar of the Covenants work. There's that. We know how, we know there's going to be new intel, so that's cool. Strange things, there's going to be, perk fountains, vlogger, doctor's quarter, there's that. And a little more this time, just telling us that there's going to be things. So nothing really of use here, and everything we do learn is kind of a little bit spoiling. But regardless, I think that's everything we learned here from everything we've seen so far. And it seems like it's going to be kind of what we expected out of it. It's, one new area that we're going to have a boss fight Easter egg. We're going to be able to build a DG2, which is cool. Oh, another thing that was mentioned, I think, over here that I think is important is that, oh, yes. So you can initially only build the Wonderwaff DG2, but an extra one will be added to the mystery box at round 10. And I think that's a cool feature just to tell us straight up when the wonder weapon appears in the box. And I'm super curious to see if this is actually something that's been done in the past. I feel like this is something they've actually done, because I know there's some games where you just can't get the wonder weapon until the later rounds, and I feel like this has been used before in some maps. I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but still something I want to mention. Either way, that's everything we learned today. I love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything. You guys excited for now? Let's get you more excited, less excited, just anything like that, because I can say for me personally, this is exactly what I expected. I'm mainly interested in that boss fight and story of this, and if it will ever connect to the Cold War story or not. But regardless, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff: like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go catch you guys next stream, video, or like it may be, and laters, guys.